I do think that silver is an amazing opportunity. If you look around at the investment landscape and you consider all your investment options, different assets and different sectors, I think you'd have a very difficult time finding any asset that is more undervalued, a better buy right now than silver is. And it does go through long bull markets. It is a volatile type of asset. But at this point, and I certainly make a point of explaining that in the book and in various stages, but it's very, very undervalued. It's very difficult to find a better value for your money right now. And silver is definitely the place for that. I'm not the only one who's often heard about things like helicopter money and overprinting and modern monetary theory, all these concepts in finance. But in particular, helicopter money and modern monetary theory, I feel that although it may not be an official policy at this point, I do feel that modern monetary theory kind of was accepted and it kicked in after the global financial crisis. And, although and that's basically printing to fund deficits, government deficits, and not worry about inflation or the effects of inflation, and that there are technically, academically ways that you can deal with that. The other aspect of it is the helicopter money, which is a concept that was highlighted by economist Milton Friedman going back decades. But it was something that Ben Bernanke, the former Fed chair, did talk about a few times. And the appetite for, dealing with crises, I guess financial crises, was limited for something like that. But when I saw the reaction by governments worldwide, it felt almost like on a coordinated basis, the reaction to the COVID pandemic, the lockdowns, and then the stimulus and the support that came for people, that came for businesses and so on. It really felt like this whole theory of helicopter money had jumped from the textbooks to practice. And it's almost like I felt like this was meant to come at some point, but when it actually happens, you have a hard time believing it. But for me, that was a bit of what I call my financial epiphany. I have a short chapter dedicated to that. And when I saw that happen, I thought, wow, this is crazy. It's actually happening. And if we look at specifically what happened with silver around that time, both gold and silver in March of 2020 took a hit, bottomed within a matter of weeks, a couple of weeks, and then soared. But gold was up 38% from its bottom, and silver was up 152% from its bottom. And so it outperformed gold in that environment by 4 times. And I thought, like, this is the launch of the acceleration phase for silver. It's really moving into a new phase. For it to have bottomed at $12, certainly that was a low number, but that was 3 times the low of 2001, I believe. And so I felt that if it's bottoming at that much higher than the start of the secular bull, then this is going to be a mid-cycle bottom, and that we have much, much higher to rise. And if you think of today's prices around $21, $22 versus that $12 low, we're still at almost 100% higher. So all of this, for me, I factored all of those things in, and I said, I have this knowledge on silver. I've been researching and writing on this market for such a long time. Let me take all of this, put it together in one place, and provide the background, provide the outlook, and make that available for people to review and to make their own minds up about what I feel is really a generational opportunity. Silver, if you compare it with gold, there are a lot of similarities, but certainly there are several differences. One of them is that over half of silver demand every year is for industrial applications. For gold, it's less than 10% goes to industrial. The rest is some form of investment. So with silver, it's about half of applications that are, I guess you could say, a form of investment. So that difference means silver has a higher utility. And in many ways, I've called it, the irreplaceable metal. And if you look at how silver is used today in things like solar panels, in EVs, in electronics, in medicine, These uses are increasing every day. New patents, new discoveries, new applications are being discovered every day. And so my view is that the industrial application for silver, which is half of its uses, end up providing for a solid floor, a rising price floor under the silver price. And that will keep a relatively high floor that will continue to rise. And then the marginal increase and the wild card in the silver price is the demand from investment. And so that certainly distinguishes silver from gold. Now, something else to keep in mind is, gold is certainly, I don't think there's anyone would doubt, it's the king of precious metals. If you look at from a supply side, the annual supply of gold is worth about $270 billion. And if you look at the annual value of silver supply, it's about a tenth of that, around $27 billion. So it's about a tenth the size of the gold market. And so needless to say, to push around the silver price is a lot easier through buying and selling. So it naturally is a more volatile asset, a more volatile investment sector.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.